Hey, I hope both of my viewers are doing well. Today I'm just in the mood to open some cheap old Magic cards. Homelands, the weakest set in Magic history. Hidden away by a mysterious wizard for generations, the forgotten world of Homelands awaits discovery. Revealed within are many peoples, cultures, and creatures in a realm of complex allegiances and sinister plots. What secrets will you uncover as you venture into Homelands? $1.75. What was this, 1995, 96 or something like that? You can get these today for about $4. Yeah, 1995. About $4 on eBay. Let's have some fun. Hope both my viewers are doing well. This card looks like a Orlando Bloom. Forget Mike Kimball. Target player chooses and discards 2 cards from his or her hand. If that player does not have enough cards in hand, his or her entire hand is discarded. The player then draws as many cards as he or she discarded in this way. Sorcery. Forgot to smell it. Smell the glove. Smell the cards. Smells like 1995. I love the smell of old cardboard, old Magic cards. Inaba Ancestor. Summon Ghost. Target Minotaur gets +1/+1 until end of turn. 1/1. The ancestors are the wisdom of the tribe and the soul of the homelands. I am eternally in their debt. Taysir. I might ramble a little bit. I've been watching, I just saw an email. I don't pay attention to Modern Magic, although I should, because it affects the price of, those of you that watch my videos know I'm into sealed MTG finance. But I think they got rid of the legacy format or something like that, and it really caused a crash in the some of these vintage cards, which probably causes the downturn and the weakness in a lot of the old MTG sealed booster boxes, which is something I pay attention to. Inaba Shaman, 4 mana for a 2/2, 1 red, tap. Inaba Shaman deals 1 damage to target creature or player. The Shamans, they are mere craven cows, not capable of true magic. Arini Singer. Anson Maddox. Looks like a Star Wars character there. Shrink. Instant. Target creature gets -5/-0 until end of turn. Yeah, I like that card. Liz Danforth. It's an illustrator you don't see. Do not fear adversity. Let your courage be your strength. Inaba Shaman. I like that card. 1 mana. Instant speed. Jinx. I like that illustration. 2 mana instant. Another Mike Kimball. Target land becomes a basic land type of your choice until end of turn. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. What wizards upset, the land soon regrets. But also with regard to Modern Magic, I saw an email. The new set, what is it? The Death of Theros or whatever. Theros Beyond the Dead or something, some weird thing. But it is really good. I mean, they're putting a lot of, they have these 3D animations and everything in MTG Arena, so I'm happy for Modern Magic. I don't have anything to do with it at all. I don't have any Modern cards, but I think it's good, the direction. They've got to take it in a new direction, or else it'll get bored for people, but I just like to stick to the old stuff. Anything 1999 and before is Magic the Gathering to me. Anything after that, it's something else. I don't know what it is, but it's not Magic the way I know it. Singer Bats. 3 mana for a 1/2 flying. Whenever a creature is put into the graveyard, the same turn Singer Bats damaged it. Put a +1/+1 counter on Singer Bats, sort of like Singer Vampire. They are the eyes of the Baron, and they know your fears. Isan's Shade. Whoosh. Reef Pirates. 3 mana 2/2. When Reef Pirates damages any opponent, take the top card of his or her library, put it into his graveyard. Tom Weinerstrand illustration. Abbey Matron, 3 mana, 1/3. 1 mana tap, +0/+3 until end of turn. The matrons are kindly souls, but don't ask one for an ale. Helena, Dwarven Trader. Let's do another one. I read the comic book there. If you go back and I put a lot of work into that video, the comic book reading. That was fun to read. Oh, another Reef Pirates. Collect the whole set. No, it's Chain Stasis. Chain Stasis. 1 mana. Instant speed. Pat Morrissey illustration. Tap or untap target creature. Whenever any player uses Chain Stasis to tap or untap a creature, that creature's controller may pay 3 mana to use Chain Stasis to tap or untap any target creature. So it's like a twiddle, except there's a drawback, which is probably why it's in Homelands. Here we go again. Cockra, Sea Troll. Oh, Apocalypse Chime. All right. Sacrifice Apocalypse Chime to bury all cards from the Homelands expansion. That's a cool card. I like that blur effect around that orb, orange orb. One day or another, perhaps, I shall ring my pretty chime loudly, so that all may hear. Grandmother Singer, illustration Mark Poole. Even smells like 1995. Apocalypse Chime. Can't remember what's the most expensive card here in Homelands. There are some $5 cards now. Last time I checked on Card Kingdom. Dwarven Trader. 1/1 for 1. They wouldn't sell their own families, at least not for cheap. Margaret Organ of Keene. Hungry Mist. 4 mana, 6/2. During your upkeep, pay 2 force or bury Hungry Mist. If the air must feed, let it take the self-righteous. You're at Death Speaker. Merchant Scroll. Merchant Scroll. Search your library for a blue instant or interrupt. Reveal that card to all players and put it into your hand. Reshuffle your library afterwards. That might be worth something. Again, I don't think there's anything worth over $5 in Homelands, but it's slowly going up. That's another interesting thing with the MTG Sealed Finance. It seems like, for whatever reason, 4th edition has not been affected by the downturn. Maybe that's because it's mainly sold for nostalgia. But also, I know Homelands and Fallen Empires are the weakest and they don't get a whole lot of attention, but they've been resilient to the recent price crash that you've seen in vintage MTG Sealed booster boxes. For whatever reason, they continue to go up. I remember in 2015, when I first started seeing vintage Magic as an investment vehicle, I saw I was able to get 4th edition boxes for $250. Now you can sell them for like $750, $800. Things like Homelands, it's at $225, and it's not pulling back. Same thing with Fallen Empires. It used to be sub 200, now it's over 200. So they've been resilient sets, even though they're low powered. They've been good investments. What else can you say? Serrated Arrows, 4 mana artifact. When Serrated Arrows comes into play, put 3 arrowhead counters on it. During your upkeep, bury Serrated Arrows if there are no arrowhead counters on it. Tap, remove an arrowhead counter from Serrated Arrows to put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. David A. Cherry. I've not seen that illustrator before. It's a good illustration. Sit back and fire your arrows. Oh, Giant Albatross. 1 mana. There's another David Cherry illustration. Flying. Bury all creatures that damage Giant Albatross this turn. The controller of any of these creatures may pay 2 life to prevent that creature from being buried. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this loss of life. Use this ability only when Giant Albatross is put into the graveyard from play. So it takes everything with it, I guess. Dark Maze, 5 mana for 4/5. 0 mana ability to wall. Dark Maze can attack this turn. At end of turn, remove Dark Maze from the game. Dark Maze cannot attack the turn it comes under your control. Wow, that's an expensive wall. Be better off with a creature for 4/5 creature for 5 mana. The Path of Faith is fortunately fraught with failure. Irene Singer. I say we do one more. One more, then a little bit of rambling. For those of you that want to stick around, listen to me ramble. Looks like Elvira. Or, what's her name? Oh, what's her name? Angelina Jolie. That's Angelina Jolie. Irene Singer. Oh, she was the flavor text on this last one. The Path of Faith. This faith is fortunately fraught with failure. 4 mana, 2/2 white enchantments and green enchantments each cost an additional 2 mana to cast. Pete Venter's illustration. Summon Legend. That cruel being brings shame to all her fellow dwarves and misery to all the land. She is Singer's daughter in spirit, if not in blood. Ace and Abby, beautiful illustration. Love the clouds back there. Add 1 colorless to your mana pool. Add a white, a blue, or a green if you pay for it. Sarah's gift to her people, a symbol of faith and hope. Liz Danforth illustration. Naba Bodyguard, first strike for a 2/3. 4 mana. Not someone to pick a fight with unless you're fond of pain. Hanson Maddox illustration. Samite Alchemist. 0/2 for 4. 2 white, tap, prevent up to 4 damage to a creature you control. Tap that creature. The creature does not untap during your next untap phase. Now you know why this card was in Homelands. Headstone, 2 mana. Instant, remove from the game target card in any graveyard. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Your headstone is the last page in the book of your life. Another David A. Cherry illustration. Dwarven Trader, 1 mana for a 1/1. Their definition of fair profit is certainly novel. Rebecca, Wizard Savant. Feast of the Unicorn, 4 mana, target creature gets +4/+0. Could there be a fouler act? No doubt the Baron knows of one. Autumn Willow. Dennis Detwiller. Alaban's Tower. 2 mana, instant, target blocking creature gets +3/+1 until end of turn. The people of Aeson built their roads with stones from these wonders. Alaban would be pleased with their ingenuity. Baki, Wizard Attendant. Jeff A. Minja's illustration. Oh, I guess I'll ramble up to about the 15-minute mark, so I'll probably get around to reading these Fallen Empires comics. Maybe get some packs to go with them. I already read my Homelands comic. Go back and check that out. I put a lot of work into that. Compared to my other videos, at least. What else is new? I mean, the Modern Magic thing. I need to do an updated video on MTG Sealed Finance. Given that things are changing there, the market remains soft, mainly because I've heard there was some changes in some getting rid of the legacy format, and there's something called Pioneer. Again, if you're going to invest in these things, you should probably keep track of Modern Magic because it does affect Vintage Magic, but basically for me, Magic ended in 1999, and I only invest in sealed booster boxes now. I don't really get into the singles market. I was planning on making a deck out of maybe Homelands just for fun, but I need to make an updated sealed MTG Finance video because I've been watching a lot of the products on eBay, and they have been really low. The market's been really soft. Bitcoin has been down. It's like at $7,000, so Bitcoin's down, and I'm expecting in the next year or two a big downturn in the stock market. I mean, or rapid inflation, hyperinflation, because the central bank keeps just pumping billions and billions and billions of dollars into the market. You see the repo markets recently, so I'm not going to invest in the stock market at all-time highs. So it's an odd market out there all around. Gold's holding pretty good between $1,450 and $1,500 an ounce, so that's a good investment. I don't invest in singles cards just because it's a lower dollar value. Plus, you got to worry about counterfeits, whereas sealed boxes, there's less counterfeiting there. Although there is some, especially with the high dollar things. But it's nicer to have larger investments rather than little cards, because each card, single card, you gotta all the time you gotta spend buying and selling and taxes and all that. It's a low dollar amount, a lot of overhead, a lot of work, packaging and shipping cards and things like that. So I'd rather just invest in booster boxes. Hopefully one of these days I'll get around to finally making that website. I have an idea for a website that tracks sealed booster boxes, so you can always be sure you're getting the lowest price when you're buying online. And you don't have to check all these various stores. I'll put together a website that consolidates all the prices onto one page, so you can just find, let's say if you're looking for a booster box of Homelands, you can be sure you're getting the lowest price, because TCG Player doesn't always have, Card Kingdom's prices. They don't have Troll and Toad. They don't have MTG Mint Card. They don't have Cool Stuff Inc. Or ABU Games. They don't have all the sellers on there. So that's might be a site that I get around to making. I know I would use it. I have an Excel sheet of all that. So before I buy a box on eBay, I always check all the various stores, but I'd like to basically automate that by putting together a website where you can see all the prices on one page and make sure you're getting the cheapest price for a box, whether you're buying on eBay or a different seller at a different website. So hope both my viewers are doing well out there. Hopefully I have more time here around Christmas and New Year to play some Magic. Maybe make some videos. Apocalypse Chime. It's a fun card. Yeah, I know this is low powered, but it's kind of fun, because if you play against someone that has a bunch of Homeland cards, it's just a different flavor to the game. That's another thing I've noticed with the modern Magic. Seems like overpowered, like hugely overpowering compared to older sets, especially with Planeswalkers and things like that. So that is all. 18-minute mark. I better wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Hope both of my viewers are doing well.